Today, I'm going to update you on Zohran Mamdani's so-called grassroots revolution. Pumped with $2 million from Silicon Valley billionaires, Hollywood elites, and out-of-state interests, well beyond what Mamdani's grassroots claims suggest. By the end, you'll ask, is this real grassroots or just political theater? Mamdani presented himself as a democratic socialist energized by everyday New Yorkers. The reality is $8.76 million total raised, $1.7 million private donors, $7 million in public matching funds, but $2 million of that came from two PACs, exceeding his grassroots private take by 18.4%. This wasn't a volunteer energy, it was money laundering with a grassroots label. Welcome to Nelly Miranda. But before we dive in, I have to play this clip from Bernie Sanders, who endorsed Zohran Mamdani, by the way. He has long opposed super PACs, ironically, the same groups that helped fuel Mamdani's campaign. The irony is rich.
Today, we are living under a corrupt campaign finance system, which is undermining our democracy. And it allows billionaires to control not only our political system, but our legislative process. That's it. Bottom line. You think you're living in a democracy? Well, yeah. You get one vote. Elon Musk gets one vote. But he also has the ability to put $290 million into a campaign to allow Donald Trump to become elected president. That sound like a democracy to you? Not to me. And increasingly, what we are seeing now as a result of Citizens United and the growth of super PACs are not candidates debating issues. That's democracy. You disagree with me, that's fine. Let's have a debate. But what you are seeing is competing 30-second ads that are funded by billionaire-controlled super PACs. So when you watch TV, you're on the internet, you see some group saying, citizens for this, citizens for that. In most cases, those are organizations that are funded by billionaires that are spending all kinds of money trying to defeat somebody or trying to elect somebody.
So let's break down the two key super PACs who funded the Blitz. So we have Working Families Party National PAC, $701,000 spent mostly on a tax and endorsements. Then we have New Yorkers for Lower Cost PAC, which raised $1.32 million, and they spent it on positive propaganda, plus more opponent hits. Both aligned perfectly with Mamdani's campaign strategy, clearly not independent. So here's who allegedly financed it. We have Ronald Conway, $300K, Tom Preston Werner, GitHub, Steven Spielberg and Capshaw, $25,000, Phoebe Gates, $75,000, Cynthia Nixon, Susan Sarandon, and Ben Cohen gave thousands more. Here's Zohran Mamdani with Working Families Party.
My name is Zohran Mamdani. I'm an assembly member representing Astoria in Long Island City, and I'm running to be the next mayor of this city. My vision for working families is that they be able to actually afford to call this city their home. We are seeing so many New Yorkers pushed out of these 5 boroughs, being forced to live in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Connecticut, and commute into this city, even though they are the same New Yorkers who built this city, who keep it running. And city government has the power to deliver that for New Yorkers by freezing the rent, by making buses fast and free, and by delivering universal childcare to every New Yorker, whether their child is 6 weeks or 5 years of age. I'm proud to stand with the Working Families Party to build a city that puts people over profits and working families first.
Free is all I heard. Anyway, shockingly, 71.5% of PAC money came from out-of-state donors, not New Yorkers, despite the PAC's name. Most of the funding didn't empower citizens. It lined consultant pockets. Leaders We Deserve PAC raised $11.9 million, but directed only 28% of that to candidates. Most of that funding didn't empower citizens. It lined consultant pockets. Leaders We Deserve PAC raised $11.9 million, but directed only 28% to candidates, leaving over 70% for overhead and consultants. Campaign finance watchdogs says spending under 50% and especially 25% on actual campaigns is highly problematic. And wouldn't you guess where Mamdani's PAC fell? Right in between those numbers. Mamdani denounced wealth at NBC saying, "I don't think we should have billionaires."
You are a self-described democratic socialist. Do you think that billionaires have a right to exist?
I don't think that we should have billionaires because, frankly, it is so much money in a moment of such inequality. And ultimately, what we need more of is equality across our city and across our state and across our country. And I look forward to work with everyone, including billionaires, to make a city that is fairer for all of them.
Well, let me ask you about what Donald Trump, the president of the United States, has had to say. He's had a lot to say about your campaign. He called you a communist. Because he's the president, I want to give you a chance to respond directly to him. How do you respond? Are you a communist?
No, I am not. And I have already had to start to get used to the fact that the president will talk about how I look, how I sound, where I'm from, who I am, ultimately because he wants to distract from what I'm fighting for. And I'm fighting for the very working people that he ran a campaign to empower, that he has since then betrayed. And when we talk about my politics, I call myself a democratic socialist in many ways inspired by the words of Dr. King from decades ago, who said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And as income inequality has declined nationwide, it has increased in New York City. And ultimately, what we need is a city where every single person can thrive.
Interesting, yet his campaign was funded by billionaires. The same billionaires he publicly criticizes, playing the anti-establishment while cozying up with Hollywood and Silicon Valley. Let's unpack some elite dollars. Top 5 donors to New Yorkers for Lower Cost are from Illinois and Washington, D.C. They topped $540,000, nearly 40% of the PAC. CARE Linked Unity and Justice Fund, Medicare for All, Rashida Tlaib PAC, all out-of-state groups. Join the donor list. So much for local concerns, because this was a national coordinated don't look here money. To label this campaign as grassroots is absurd. This is a manufactured campaign sold as revolution. Now, let me know your take. Should PACs using grassroots in their name be forced to disclose origin of funds? Is NYC's matching system broken when it's propped up by billionaires? Let me know in the comments. Also, do not forget to head over to whitecollarfraud.com to read the entire article. Sam Antar brilliantly lays it all out. He also provides all the receipts. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe, as it really helps support the channel. And tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.